Hey y'all, welcome back to Ruth and Ruby. It has been a wild week around here. From receiving our first pallet of merchandise, I've never ordered enough to receive a pallet before, to totally flipping the store upside down and putting it all back together. It's just been wild around here, but I am so excited to be able to get in the studio and create something really cool. So make sure you stay to the end of the video because my very favorite project is the last one. So this is just a little clip of the store throughout the week. So the first thing we're going to start with is this adorable little ornament, and this is some of the product that we cut on our laser. I'm using Dixie Belle Honky Tonk Red, which is the brightest Christmas red in the Dixie Belle line, and I am covering this wood ornament with that Dixie Belle Honky Tonk Red. Now, if you like a deeper red, go with Barn Red. I used Dixie Belle Sandbar to paint this little frame piece, and I'm just giving it one good coat, and one coat pretty much covered it. And I'm going to flip through the brand new IOD Kitschy Christmas. And if you don't have this transfer yet, I do still have some left. So you can go grab that at ruthandruby.com. I'll also leave a link in the description box. But I'm just flipping through to let you see. If you haven't looked at this one closely enough, there are so many beautiful components. And if you've got kids, this is the transfer to do some crafts with them. Because look at all of these cute little pieces down here at the bottom. These are perfect for kids to put on something. You can put them on anything. I even put some on some little balls, but just hang tight. So like some wooden balls, hang tight, and I'm going to show you that in the next video. So I am going to put this in here with the frame to kind of see the placement, because I want to make sure that when I put the frame back on it, that it's not going to cover up, you know, the little deer or anything like that. So I'm just kind of sliding it under the frame to get the perfect position. And then I'll remove that frame and start applying the transfer with my transfer stick. And if you're new to transfers, these little sticks come in every single transfer package. So you will have one every single time you buy a new transfer. And simple application, rub it on, take that transfer carrier sheet off, and you're going to seal it up with any kind of top coat. I am using Dixie Belle Gloss right here. I'm using the bottom of the container. That's why you can see some little funny little pieces in there that I'm picking out. But that's the finished project. I finished it up with some velvet ribbon that I purchased on Amazon, and I will leave a link to that below. And I loved this so much, I'm going to do one more for you. This is Fusion Bayberry. This is one of my very favorite Christmas greens because it is that kind of olive green, and I just feel like that is a vintage kind of color. Now, I love the deep green as well, but I'm going to go ahead and put some DIY paint, dark and decrepit, on this frame. And I chose this one for this particular project because it dries super quick, and it was dry in like 20 minutes or so, and I was able to finish putting this thing together. So just give the whole thing a good coat, and if you want to wipe back any excess, that will lighten it just a little bit. I did not. I let it dry as it was so that it would be just a little bit darker. Now, don't be afraid to cut up your transfers, y'all. This is the brand new Tinsel transfer, and I'm cutting the words apart so that I can place them in the ornament how I want to. So some people have asked about these and wondered if they are more difficult to use. I'm not sure what the hesitation is. I have not had any issues with these transfers working any differently than every other IOD transfer. So if you've been afraid to try it, this is your sign to just go ahead and grab yourself one, because they are absolutely beautiful. They're so stunning. I love the gold. And you can see here, I am applying each word with ease. It just comes off like butter. It is perfect. So don't be afraid to try these gold gilded transfers. And I love this. Peace on Earth. And I cut it apart so that it could fit it in there how I wanted to. And then I'm just going to super glue my frame on. Also, we sell these on our website on the Blanks collection. So if you go under the paint and DIY products, there is a blanks tab, and you can find all kinds of wood products there, wood blanks and tags and all the things. All right, before we do that last project, I want to tell you that this video is in collaboration with some of my YouTube friends, Teresa at Our Green Acres, Crafting Cousins, Crafty Kathy, and Melissa with I'm Merely Melissa. So be sure to check the description for the playlist link so that you can check their videos out as well. Okay, I told you I'm saving my favorite for last, and I'm giving this 1x10 a good coat of Dixie Belle No Pain Gel Stain and Golden Ash. That's my favorite color in the No Pain Gel Stain, and I'm using the oil base for this because I want a little bit of the resist from the oil base because we're going to use some milk paint. So here I am mixing two colors to get my favorite color red. That is Scarlet, which you can see is a very bright Christmas red. I'm trying to match the ribbon in my Santa set, and you'll see why here in just a few minutes. So I'm giving this 2 parts of Scarlet, so 2 kind of like heaping tablespoons and 1 heaping tablespoon of Red Wagon. You can see Red Wagon here is kind of more of a like a deeper kind of almost a little bit of a rusty kind of red. So I'm going to mix the 2 together. I'm going to give that a good stir before I put my water in it. And then I'm going to add hot water. I like to add hot water because I feel like it dissolves the paint just a little bit better. And I am going to do 4 tablespoons of water to begin with because like I said, my other spoonfuls were kind of heaping. So I'm starting with 4, and you'll see I end up adding just a little bit more towards the end. But give it a good stir. We're going to let it sit for about 5-6 minutes or so. See how it's kind of lumpy? And then I'm like, yep, definitely need a little more water. So I'm leaving this kind of in real time because I want you to see. Everybody's a little bit afraid of milk paint because they don't really know what it should look like or feel like. So I'm leaving this in real time to show you that when you mix it up really, really good, your consistency is like that of a melted milkshake. So you can see I'm adding 1 more little spoonful there because I'm like, it's still just a tad thick. And I know that after it sits for 5 minutes, it's going to thicken just a little bit more. So you can see here in just a minute, I will show you the consistency when it's finished, when we're ready to let it sit for 5 minutes. See there? That's perfect. It looks just like a melted milkshake. Okay, so I have to forewarn you and tell you, I'm breaking all the rules here because I did not let my oil-based stain dry overnight, and I am putting my milk paint on it after it's only been on there for like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm using my very favorite F30 brush. Guys, if you have not invested in good brushes, I encourage you to put it on your Christmas list because once you have a good brush, you will truly see the difference and why we encourage you to get good brushes. All right, like I said, want this to be very chippy. So I'm taking a palette knife and scraping very, very lightly, super light hand because this is very wet paint. I just put it on there and I'm going right back immediately, taking just a little bit off. Now I'm taking my brush again just to kind of smooth the lines. I did not add any more paint to that brush, very gently just blurring the lines. Now I'm taking my heat gun again to this still somewhat damp stain, wet milk paint, because I'm trying to force some crackle and I'm trying to force some chipping. So you can see there, see that good crackle? Now here's my trick. I'm taking packing tape, going over these things to take up the paint. And again, this is where that oil-based is my friend because that is causing the little bit of a resist and causing the paint to come up in that chippy fashion. Now, I made this design in Silhouette Studio and I had Wayne cut it out on the laser for me. So we use this sticky stuff called 3M on the back. Not everybody has that. So if you were to purchase any of our wood blanks and things like that, you would need to use super glue. But I was trying to save a little bit of time here. So I had him keep the piece of wood that everything cut out of so that I could use it for a frame and it would help me just line everything up perfectly because I had him measure it to the size of the sign. And I'm sorry that this thing has been out of frame the whole time, but the thing is it's 3 feet long. So really 3.5 feet. So the whole thing just would not fit in my camera view and you actually be able to see what I'm doing. So that's why. But I have put everything down, stuck it down, and I love it. So I'm going to seal everything up with Sweet Pickins oil wax. So I'm going to do clear first because I'm the one that put that on. Oh, I just wanted to show you here what a beautiful glaze this stuff makes as well. So it's also a sealer. But I wanted to go over my white with the natural first because that way if I get some dark on it, it won't make my I think I used Dixie Belle buttercream on this, but it won't make that too dark. And I just realized that I didn't even show you guys how I painted those letters. I'm sure you can figure that out, right? So I'm going over the rest of the whole thing with dark wax. and I'm just getting in between, no like perfection or anything like that, because we're going to wipe back the excess, so you don't have to worry about if you miss a spot or anything like that. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to take my towel and wipe off my excess of the letters first, and because I don't want to take off too much, I just want to take off like the extra, and then give it a good wipe down everywhere else. And then when you set it to the side and let this thing just sit for a few hours or even overnight, all that oil will dry and soak in, and you'll have a perfectly beautifully sealed piece. Okay, I want to show you these. We cut these out on our laser as well. What I did is I traced the trees from the Winter Forest stamp, and we cut them out. And now you can see I am going over this with the buttercream paint in my brayer, and kind of giving these trees a little snowy effect. And I'm doing them all a little bit different because I don't want them to all look exactly the same. So you see the first one that I did was super snowy, and then a little bit less. And I am going to layer these on the sign. And again, it wouldn't all fit in my frame, so I knew that I couldn't really show you how to do that. But all I did was take these and lay them on the board and take my pen nailer and put them on there, and I just secured it with pen nails. I didn't even glue them, but you can see there how that I just layered them on top of each other, and that is my finished sign. Let me know in the comments what you think and which project is your favorite. All right, what do you think of my finished Santa set? So the theme is Ski Lodge. So Santa will be here at Ruth and Ruby for our annual Santa event on November 15th. Unfortunately, that one is already sold out. However, Santa will be back on Friday, December 13th. That will be a selfie event. So it is absolutely free, and you just take your own photos in this beautiful set, and it won't cost you a thing. So just come and see us and spend a little time with Santa. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know below what's your favorite.